Hey y'all, it's story time and wine time. It's a new little segment I think I'll do because I be having some tripped out stuff that happened. And I feel like maybe I can share with y'all since y'all my people now, or whatever. So anyway, first let me make my disclaimer. It's story time and wine, but I ain't got no wine. So this Gloria Margarita you're gonna have to do today. It'll do the trick. But anyway, today's story is about bad dates. We all done had them. We all done been out on them. So let's get into it. So it was like maybe around 2000, somewhere around there, okay? And I was working at this pizza place. I was a waitress. And there was a dude that worked there. I think his name was like Chris. Well, we gonna call him Chris. So anyway, he was like one of the cooks or whatever. Now I think he worked there for like the summer because he was in college. So it was just like a summer job for him. He was a nice enough dude. I mean, he was cool. So, you know how when you work at some jobs, y'all get to flirting, be a little flirtation and stuff going on. And, it seemed harmless enough or whatever. But so this one day he asked me if I wanted to go out with him. So I thought, okay, cool. I ain't got nothing else to do. So he was like, okay, after work, we should go out and kick it. All right. So I go home and I get all cute, because that's what we do. I put on a cute little outfit, did my hair, got all pretty, makeup and all of this. Now, for some reason, I ain't want Chris to know where I lived. So I had told him, just meet me up here at the job. I'll meet you here, whatever, you can pick me up here. Because I didn't really want him to know where I stayed at. Which would end up being a good thing. So he comes up to the job to pick me up. Yeah. Okay. He was already kind of like I ain't gonna say he was big, but he was like a husky fella, whatever. But he didn't even try to like fix himself up. Like, just because you might be a little bigger or whatever don't fix yourself up. Okay. So dude shows up in some long baggy like cargo shorts that, first of all, he was sagging. Okay. So they hanging off of his ass and reach almost down to his ankles. All right. They was wrinkled. He didn't iron them. He had on like a yellow polo that seemed like he just like dug through the dirty clothes or something and got that out. And again, it was wrinkled. Then he had on these dirty Timbs. I don't even know if they was real Timberlands. I think they was like the knockoff kind of Timberlands because they was kind of leaning a little bit, whatever. But anyway, I'm looking like, really, Chris? Like, you couldn't, try to do better? So, okay. Then he was rocking like a fro, like he had a big old, fro head of hair, which is cool. But he didn't try to pick it out. He didn't try to comb it, nothing. His hair was just like all over his head. So right off the top, Chris, you losing cool points because your appearance is just like, really? So, okay, anyway, I go ahead. I'm gonna look over, how you look. We get on in the car. We're driving to go out to, to dinner and stuff. So when we make it maybe a few minutes away from where, we're going to be going, he was like, all of a sudden he was like, hey, you don't haven't got no funds on you, do you? So I'm like, yeah, because I'm just a firm believer of always have your own money on a date, ladies, just in case dude won't start tripping. Always take you, some money. So I'm like, yeah, I have some. So he's like, all right, cool, bet. Because I'm thinking, maybe, you could pay for your own food. And I'm just like, okay. I thought you asked me out on a date. So if you're asking, shouldn't you be paying for my food? But whatever. Yeah, I'm thinking he really finna take me somewhere, a restaurant, a real restaurant. Chris pulls up at a McDonald's. Okay. Now, like I said, this was back in like early 2000 when McDonald's was still relatively cheap. So what I used to always get from McDonald's was a Big Mac meal. That was my favorite thing. So a Big Mac meal back then was like maybe $3.25 or $4.25, something like that, $3.25. Not super size, So I'm thinking in my head, so you mean tell me you ain't got, $3-4.25 to buy me a Big Mac meal? Like, oh, okay, Chris, like you really, you just losing all the way around at this point. First with your clothes that just look, dingy. Now you making me pay for my own McDonald's food. Okay, whatever. So I end up paying for my own food. Weird, I know. I end up paying for my own food at McDonald's. And then he's like, okay, so we're going to go to the movies. I guess I should be lucky that he was, generous enough to pay for the movie ticket. So he goes to buy the tickets. I didn't even really know what was playing, but, he goes to buy the movie tickets, comes back. This fool says he done bought tickets to South Park. First of all, I don't even like South Park. I ain't never even watched it in my life. Like, it's one of those shows that everybody else loves, but I don't get it. So here we are, two grown people sitting up in there watching South Park. Okay, so we find our seats. They're showing the previews and all this kind of stuff. Chris decides he wants to start trying to be all suave and all this, trying to lean all over and time out. So what you want to do after this, nigga? You show up looking like you dug your clothes after dirty clothes. You made me pay for my own $3-4 Big Mac meal at McDonald's. I hope you didn't think that you was gonna get none at the end of the night, because you screwed that up like a long time ago. So I'm just like, not much. Go home, I guess. So yeah, Chris, hopefully you done got it together since then. But yeah, needless to say, he did not hit it that night or any other night. Matter of fact, that was one of those type of dudes that after the date was over, I pretty much just like avoided him and ignored him at work every day after that, until he eventually left and went on back to school, and then I never did have to see him again. But yeah, so McDonald's food, I'm tripping. But anyway, that's the story of the time that a dude took me out to McDonald's and made me pay for it myself. Oh, I got to take another drink off that. Oh my God. McDonald's food. Wait, please.